I'm glad I checked my bolts, my pickup. Now I had planned for this. I'm gonna get to some dreams I had here in a couple minutes. But anyway, now when I put this together, the torque converter, I didn't have enough clearance between the torque converter and the flex plate. It would hit. Normally it'll slide back about half an inch, and then you got to pull it forward to bolt it up. But I didn't have that, so I think what happened when I last time I had pulled the pump assembly apart, I used a gear puller, and I think I messed up some fluted, well, it's the splines where the torque converter slides on the front, the front pump assembly. Anyway, I think I'd kind of scored those up, and the torque converter wouldn't slide all the way down. But I'm thinking now that it's run for a little bit, I think it probably worked its way back a little bit. But I still, I'm going to cover something I'm going to do here in a few minutes. But anyway, I found I've had problems with bolts, but between the engine and the transmission, the bell housing bolts, I've had those come loose on me, and I think that's what cracked my other flex plate. I think those bolts were loose in there, it allowed it to flex around, and it cracked. I think that's what I need. I need to be careful on those. And I may, once I got something together that I think I'm gonna leave in the long term, I'll probably put Loctite on those bolts. I don't normally Loctite the bolts that the engine to transmission bolts, but for the future, once I get something I think will be good for long term, I may go ahead and Loctite them. Maybe use like blue Loctite on there, something that you can get off easy. Now, I don't think I'd red Loctite it, but I think I'd probably put some type of Loctite in there. Now, the ones that that were a serious problem are the bolts that go between the flex plate and the torque converter. There's three of those on this engine, and those were all loose. Now, when I put together, I really didn't expect it to work, so I just threaded them in there and tightened them with it's a 9/16 end wrench. I get it at about 40 foot-pounds. Now, normally, when I plan to have it together for a while, I'll put some Loctite on there, then I'll hit them with a flex handle. I don't use a torque wrench in there. You can. I mean, lots of guys do, but I'll just get them as tight as I can with a half-inch, the 4-foot-long flex handle, which is, I think, 80, 90 foot-pounds, something like that. But I didn't. What I did right now is just get them as tight as I could with a 9/16 end wrench. But I said what I'll probably do is run this for a couple more weeks. Order some parts. I'll probably pull the transmission apart again. Replace that 2/4 band, because the only one I had was kind of ratty looking. I'll probably just go ahead and buy a new one. Run that transmission for a few months, and then by that time I'll probably rebuild something. Not that I'm good with, I don't call myself a transmission builder, but I kind of doing this out of necessity, because I didn't have a way of actually getting to wrecking yard and buying another one, and I didn't have the money to buy another one, so I took all the ones I had. I made one good transmission out of the best parts of 4 transmissions, and I'm sure other guys have done stuff like that. I said sometime I'll probably get, Amazon's got a set of just the friction plates, the clutches, for about $60. I'll probably go over to Transtar and get some of the gaskets, some of the seals. I'll probably do the pistons. There's 3 sets of internal clutches. I'll probably do the pistons for those. I need to make a tool, but if I'm not in a big hurry, I think you can buy them, but I think I can probably make a tool to spring compressor to compress the internal clutches. If I rebuild a transmission with all steel parts, I mean all new friction clutches, and reuse my steels, I'll probably have something that will probably run until I park that pickup. Then probably maybe sometime this winter I'll go through the engine. Or maybe I'll get monetized here on YouTube and can make some bucks and go down to WSM, find one of the disabled ones, and find something I can fix up a disabled one. If some chick wants me to do some YouTube videos with her, maybe some chick needs a boyfriend to do the Route 66 thing. I'd want to do it part-time. You could probably do some stuff around here part-time, and then hit up Route 66 in the fall sometime. Hey, subscribe to my channel. I need enough subscribers to at least get monetized to make some money, so maybe I can go down and buy something disabled from WSM and fix that up. I got to get to work now.